Check, check, check. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to give a shout out to our Music Mondays. So what I'm planning on doing is taking a classic album, or actually, it doesn't even need to be classic, it could be literally anything, and listening to it and give you my thoughts on it. Now, today, this is certainly a classic album, because this is going to be the first one I'm going to do. I wanted to make sure I started off right. So, we are actually going to talk about Van Halen's 1984. It's an album that certainly brings me back to my past. In fact, I still have it on vinyl. Love this album. So, for those of you who don't know, Van Halen is a band from California that started out about 1979. There's 4 members to Van Halen. We've got the Van Halen brothers. We've got both Alex and Eddie, the guitar god. We have Michael Anthony on bass, and then we've got Diamond David Lee Roth on vocals. Now, this would actually be their 6th studio album, but the last album that all of them would do together. It's kind of tragic thinking about it, and especially since how Van Halen past 1984 kind of was a punchline with the breaking ups. But this is seriously one of the best albums. I will leave the Spotify link to the actual album, so if you can listen to it, tell me what you think. Tell me if you liked it as much as I do. This album has actually gone diamond, meaning that it sold 10 million albums. So it actually took a few years. I think album came out in 1984, hence the title. But 1999 was actually when it sold that 10 millionth album. Rolling Stone places it number 81 in the Rolling Stone Greatest Albums of the 80s. And the album itself actually stayed at number 2 for 5 weeks on Billboard's Top Albums list. The album that was beating it was Michael Jackson's Thriller. Nothing you can really do about that one. So the entire album as a whole, I absolutely love. I can listen to it over and over, and usually do. I can either put the record on the record machine and just listen to it, or even use my Spotify, just put my AirPods in, just listen to it for hours. Since I know not many of you are going to listen to the full album, I'm just going to hit some highlights that I think you should definitely check out. Starting off with the first track, 1984. I always recommend listening to it. This is a very synth-heavy kind of intro to what would be the only #1 song that Van Halen would ever have, and that's Jump. So it kind of sets the stage for what Van Halen's trying to do with this, and there's even some inner conflict in this album. You can certainly hear it as far as the synth-heavy songs, and then the more classic hard rock that they were known for doing at the time. I know that reports have said that Eddie and David fought over this album for years. They said about 2 years they fought, just even putting a synthesizer in a song. So, 1984 to Jump, perfect send-off to exactly what you've got going on with that album. Next song is, I think, track number 3 is on Panama. Who couldn't love this song? It's definitely a feel-good song. I saw that David was talking about how he came up with the idea. He said he was doing an interview, and the reporter asked him, why do you only create songs about cars, women, and partying? And at that moment, he realized he's never actually written a song about cars, so why not now? So Panama's classic. It really just pushes the beat forward on you, and then pulls back and just killer cool towards the end of it. Definitely a song to chill out to. And last song I'm going to talk about is probably my favorite. It's probably the best music video that the band ever made, and that's Hot for Teacher. Who couldn't love that bass, those drums in the very beginning, leading into that shredding that Eddie does just moments later? I mean, you don't need to be Waldo to know that that's going to be a classic song. It's one that makes me relive my childhood, you know, being just, you know, a kid of the 80s, so to speak. Just loving it. You can't just sit back and have a smile on its face. I know I only covered a few songs, but I recommend checking out the entire album. And even some of the music videos. The music videos are kind of fun on how they're done. Between Jump, which was just David Lee Roth doing jump kicks. I think there was more jump kicks than there was actual footage of Eddie actually playing the keyboard, so definitely a fun thing to watch. I'll include that in the description below as well. And then Hot for Teacher. Who couldn't love that? And I'm sure by today's standards, kids are not going to really understand that that was a very popular song, especially during school, you know, for school-age kids. After this, we know that David Lee Roth left the band, which was tragic, but the band went on with Sammy Hagar, so they definitely had their own little separate ways, and they would reunite in the end, but definitely worth a listen to. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you want me to hear me review next week. Give you some ideas. I know there's some people that have thrown out all sorts of different things. I'm up for anything. I'll actually pick out what next week's album is in the comments below. So, definitely a good time. Looking forward to what you guys say. And I'll see you guys down the trail.